Okay, hey, welcome to the slide. This is part three of just my little story of how I got where I'm at with God and my family on this missionary journey. So I left off with I fasted, couldn't discern what was going on in my soul. God just sort of spoke to me and just said, "You're getting back into aviation, so do it." So I followed in obedience, and that got us to our next stage in flight that I'm currently doing, which was how do I make it happen? So obviously, you're relying on the Lord for connections, for what do you say, tenacity, and just to fight through all the hiccups that go along the way, and the endurance to to do it. And he's done nothing but show his hand in all of it, the way, and not forget what it's all about. If I'm just pushing through it, I have a tendency to lose sight of my goal and just do what I need to do to try to control the situation. And that's not how I operate anymore. I operate under God's authority and guidance, and I just want to listen more than I want to do anything else. Stumbled upon a ministry in Alaska. I researched it, stumbled again onto Kingdom Air, which does overall free flight school for missionaries. Because if you can imagine, flight school is expensive. I researched it, talked to, to people, but the numbers can be all over the place on what is the cost. It can vary huge. So I was on the upper end because of where I am. Just the flight hours cost more, plane rentals cost, everything just costs more. So it ended up just being what it was. Spent a lot more than I thought I was for this initial step. Then I was like, man, I'm a little worried about the funding to do this calling. I was like, how can I finish this, God, if I don't have the funding to do it? And we sold the house in order to make ends meet so I could do this. But even with that, like, it's going to get tight, it's going to get rough. So how is this going to work, God? And he opened up a few connections through just going to the church, the new one, to knowing that they support someone in Alaska that went through Kingdom Air. And then incidentally, I met with the founder, president, and CEO of the organization on his way down from Alaska for the winter. So it was pretty neat to just see the heart behind him as well. And that's what got us through our next stage here, stage number 2, per se. And that is moving in May to Alaska to wrap up my IFR training, and then maybe the winter in Alaska. God's just been so good about just opening up community organizations. I found a funding agency, a third-party funding agency for now. To accept donors' funds if you so graciously want to give. It will be in my bio in a few months. We're still in the process of going through them, but I picked one that has the cheapest platform fees. Just everything about it is the cheapest that I can get. It's founded by past long-term missionaries, so the heart behind them is pretty incredible as well. So I'm excited for that. That was just another opening of a door that God's put in my path. I'm just trying to listen to what He wants me to do. So that's sort of our journey from being raised in a Christian home to falling out of it, to finding Jesus in my college years in Colorado, to just being a checkbox Christian, to getting married and just seeing that there's a disconnect in my faith and my actions, and knowing that we're meant to do more, we're called to do more. And if it wasn't for that little furlough, per se, in aerospace, getting out for myself, I don't think I would have been slow enough to listen to God. I would have been still driving on my goals in aerospace. And I would have probably heard God's voice, but I would have probably discounted it pretty fast. But it was just a blessing that we moved and got out of it so God could place me back in aerospace to do His mission. And I'm just along for the ride now. and it's going to be a pretty cool journey, going through Indonesia for 5 weeks, seeing long-term missionaries at work, going up into Alaska, coming up in May through the remainder of next year. So next May through the remainder of next year, and just seeing what God has in all of that will be pretty exciting. So prayers, most definitely. If you have a heart for missions and would like to donate, for now I have PayPal, SpotFund, and GoFundMe. Just so we can make ends meet when we throttle back on our jobs, because we won't be able to work. So that would be awesome if I can find some donors to help assist while we're doing God's mission. And remember, I always like to say it. That,
is exiting.
I just like to always note that giving is just as important as me going with my family into the mission field. We can't do it without you. Holy moly. Can't do it without you. And when you donate, you are part of this journey, without a doubt. Don't discount yourself saying, this is all I can do. I can't go out there myself. I can only give this much or that little or how much. Don't discount yourself, because you're part of the mission that we're doing. And if it wasn't for you, like I said, we just couldn't do it. So we appreciate you guys, appreciate the listeners. We love you guys, and we're excited to do this together. Adios.